Welcome back to my channel, guys. It's time for another retro anime review. Welcome once again. This is going to be on Wandaba Style, a series that definitely is retro. This one's not a maybe. This one came out in 2003, so it's 20 years old, 2 decades old. So definitely just by the art style, you can tell it's a very early 2000s. In fact, it still has a lot of resemblance of the late 90s anime style, which, you know, it's very close to the early 2000s. And this is one that was a anime series. There was no manga, there was no light novel to it, which nowadays it's very rare to get a series like that. We don't get a lot of series that don't have any initial source of information, you know, either a manga or a light novel or both. So very interesting. Genre wise, adventure, comedy, science fiction, it's very much there. I would say a little bit fan service, not a lot, but just like 5% fan service. And I'll talk about it, but it's an era where everything had just a sprinkle of it, and this one is not an exception. It also had it. So yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's the best thing, I'm not saying it's the worst thing either. So the literal name to this one is Wacky Science Fiction Series Wandaba Style, but the English name was just Wandaba Style. So before anything, guys, if you haven't done so by now, make sure you subscribe to my channel, give some love by commenting, liking, and sharing. You guys can find me on social media and other places, so you guys can check me out there. Check out my other anime retro series, which I have quite a bit of them. So if you're looking for older animes that you maybe missed, or maybe you weren't even born in that era, then check out my channel for other suggestions. Now, this one is one that was interesting because it is kind of an idol series, but not really. It revolves in the whole adventure comedy genre, but I would even call it even an idol series. The story itself is about a pop idol band named Mixed Juice, and these girls, throughout the first episode, we kind of find out that they have different paths. We have some girls who are playing in the streets. We have some girls that are trying to keep jobs and they're losing them. Just left and right, they're very opposite. And when they come together, it seems like they don't even know each other, or they don't even care for each other. They're just in a group because they're in a group. Now, they're led by a producer who, from the beginning of the episode, we know that he essentially will do anything to basically get them stardom. Now, they obviously don't have stardom. They're a very young group. Not a lot of people know about them. So he's kind of competing with a lot of factors. And one of his boss tells him that one of those factors is that there is a young boy, a young entrepreneur, who is basically wanting to go to the moon and make his mark there, and people are basically attracted to the story. So instead of fighting it, he goes with it. He basically plans to meet with the boy, which he does halfway in the episode, and he convinces his young boy genius to basically take a trip to the moon that would get there, and with his clever managing, essentially the girls from Mixed Juice would then perform in the moon and make their mark of the only idol group that would have performed in space. Now, very weird premises, but they go with it. Towards 3/4 of the episode, the girls finally meet up. We get this very awkward interaction between them. They're basically fighting who is better in the band, and they kind of all don't like each other, and they end up fan service part end up basically losing their clothing by accident in front of their fans, and essentially they feel like now they've reached rock bottom. And while they're basically at the rock bottom, this is when the professor, or not professor, sorry, the producer tells them it's a great idea, now let's go to the moon. It's kind of ridiculous, but they kind of go with it. So my thoughts, it's a little wild. It's comedy in the sense of we're going to be over the top, and we're going to be very wild and very unrealistic. And at the time, I really appreciated that type of comedy because it doesn't take or doesn't try to be serious for any second. And in that, there's pros and cons to it, because I think some comedies do a really good job at being 10, 11 episodes comedy, and then that 1 or 2 episodes that they become serious, they hit serious dark notes of real life, and it's like, oh gosh, life is not just a joke, but it's reality. I do enjoy those. I do think that the nowadays comedies are doing a good job by doing that, but there is pros to, I want to watch the series just to watch and have fun. And I think older series, even popular ones, if you talk about Dragon Ball and One Piece, well, One Piece is not a really good example, but they have really good tones of just comedy. Now One Piece is one that I would say it definitely got a lot of serious episodes that was like, oh wait, this is not a comedy, this is more of a drama. So this one, no, this was over the top. It's comedy all through, and I think it does a really good job of doing itself that favor. So again, uniqueness about this one, there's no source to it, so there's no manga that you can fall back to it. It's just, it was released as an anime, and that's really it. It is both dubbed and subbed on Crunchyroll, and I believe there's only 12 episodes out, so there's nothing more. There's no movies, there's no, like I said, manga or light novels, nothing attached to it other than what we get. So past the 12 episodes, that's basically it. I'm very, very interested because it is like an idol comedy, like zombie girl saga, or was it Zombie Land Saga? Anyways, like that kind of comedy. So yeah, go check it out. Thank you guys so much for watching this. If you haven't done so by now, make sure you subscribe to my channel, give some love by commenting, liking, and sharing, and I will see you guys next time. Like always, don't be strangers. See you guys.